Hashtag, how about listening to the players? I like that. That was fun, getting to look back at your old tweets. I'm really glad we didn't do that segment with us. Have you ever looked back at your old Facebook posts, Chad? Have you wondered, what was I doing wrong?
My Facebook ones are fine.
Tweets?
If I go back to MySpace, that's where it starts getting a little bit dicey.
I think Facebook, like, memories are an amazing thing and also a despicable thing at the same time, because you're like, oh, this was so cool like 3 years ago, and you're like, 7 years ago. Bloody hell.
Oh, bloody hell. Raw XD. I was an XDer back in the day.
Really?
Was. And it's a solid XD and a cappuccino, whatever else you want to call it, for the boys from Big. Just 4 measly rounds, gentlemen. 4 measly rounds. And it was over before it really felt like it begun. You blink and you miss it, Janko. What was your observations?
True, and we were talking about the mental state of NiP coming into this one right after that disappointing performance at the minor qualifier, right? So you can see that they were playing super loose here on the CT side, really aggressive, get right with the AWP, as Henry pointed out, not really known to be an AWPer, but had some good rounds. You can just see the sheer aggression on the CT side really disrupted the way Big wanted to play, and they couldn't really set a foot into this game.
Yeah, loose and fun, because I saw the DAC come out and exist pretty early as well, and there was just a lot of aggression all over the map. They didn't really have any qualms with just running around, which is, I guess, a way to deal with depression.
Australian translation for anyone at home as well.
Dr.
The
Feelgood
DAC
over here.
is the auto sniper that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the noise it makes.
Can I hear it?
No.
Oh, you put him on the
Do you
spot.
know you got the auto shot is the alligator?
Yeah. Because why?
Well, you know when you shoot it, it goes like up and then down, like an alligator.
Do you call it an
jumping.
alligator?
Yeah.
It's a lot of syllables for a call-out.
Well, obviously it's more for fun.
Okay. The DAC and the alligator. And Diggity, of course. Yeah, no Diggity, no doubt that we're going to try and bounce back on Cash. Chad, what do you think about Mirage, though, for Big? I mean, was this just a case of, like, NiP full control first half and you just write it off and start thinking about Cash?
Yeah, I think they were pretty shaken in that first half, not being able to do any of their executes the way they wanted to because of all that aggression coming in. When you want to set up, when you want to be like quite structured and someone's just running at you with a CZ, and he actually has an AWP on his back all the way out middle, and you're like, why is this my life? At that point, it just gets very frustrating, and the game just ran away from them. And then you flip on over, all the pressure's on your shoulders, and NiP continue to give the spankings to Big. So I think for them coming into Cage, it should just be a nice quick mental reset. Yeah. There shouldn't be too many worries. But as Janko pointed out, it's not looking good for them against NiP in recent times.
Well, if anything is more testament to how unpredictable Counter-Strike is, we have a team that could not make the major again, struggled to make the minor, have just 16-4'd a team that are legends of the previous major. That is the world we live in. The map Cash, though, could prove to be quite a polarizing game. Now, the fact that they did lose 16-4 does sound like it should be writing a Big out of this battle, but it turns out they're quite Cash connoisseurs themselves, Janko.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world if Big comes back here. I think Cash is a good map for them to play against an aggressive style, right? Because you can do more stuff as a team. You can group up towards that A bomb side, go for the smoke, execute. Same thing towards B. You can try and take mid early. That's where you can send at least 3 of your players, maybe even 4, and fight that aggressive style for NiP if they try to go for it again.
I'm really curious about the approach we're going to see from NiP on the T side here because, okay, so we've seen 2 different styles of NiP when they've been successful on this map. The super structured set execute based style where they were just doing the carpet bombing of the A side with all the Molotovs, all the jump smokes, the set executes. They were really successful with that. Then in more recent times, it was just based off of defaulting. We're going to default, we're going to get map territory, then we're going to get mid control, we're going to make a good mid-round decision. That's all it's been for them when they've had success on this map, and that's been over the last 2 years. Ever since Threat joined when he first started coaching, that was one of the maps they were good on, and then they had a resurgence on it when he took on full-time coaching again, when they added Rez to the lineup. Sure. So, are we just going to see them running around in a very loose style with a bit of structure, very phase-esque in the terms of, hey, this is our default, just go for picks wherever you want, and then we'll make a mid-round call off of that? Or are they going to maybe tighten it up on their T side? And it's too hard to tell when you see them on that Mirage game.
Okay, so what you're telling me here is that you still don't know which NiP is going to show up. Is it the NiP that lost, in the minor qualifier versus Pride on this very map, 16-13, or is it going to be the NiP that we just saw walk through Big?
I think they're just going to continue to try and have fun and play a bit more loose, right? I think you need to play in that way if you're NiP after such a crushing loss in the minor qualifier. If you try and run the same style and you keep losing, that's just a terrible atmosphere to play in. Everyone is probably going to get down on themselves. So this way, even if you're losing, you kind of feel better about it.
I can understand that. And I mean, Big, no strangers to losing, and Big wins. Let's not forget, of course, holding that legendary status for the coming major. I do want to know what you guys make of the big situation, where we have kind of, again, hot and cold, kind of almost akin to that of the Ninjas that we've been talking about already, Chad. But, I mean, we have a team that did look fantastic at the major, albeit on one map.
Okay, so the way that this team needs to, this team needs to do to be a mainstay squad, you know, within the top 10 or even the top 15, is, sure, they have all the great strategies, right? They have the star player in Tabson. Next needs to step up to the plate and be the second star. You need more consistency out of Kiev and Legia, right? At the major, they did fantastically. Okay, sure, they had the jump bug situation, which is like kind of smear campaign on what they achieved, but they had really good strategies. They had great structure, good mid-round decisions, and people stepped up. There was a couple of games where, you know, even people who we wouldn't consider stars of the team had big performances. God B, Legia, both putting in a lot of work, getting it done. So the signs are there. The thing is for them to build towards this, you get found out, right? If you have good strategies, people learn how to counter those. When they see the tells, the smokes, the flashes, okay, you get countered. Now what? Top-tier Counter-Strike like this, the opponent adjusts every round, right? You can't run the same thing time and time again. And when you've shown your cards, you need to get new cards. So this is going to be the hardest thing for Big, making sure they can constantly reinvent the wheel and have more players step up to the plate.
Okay, and I mean, that's perfect kind of summation of what Big have going to be trying to apply their time to ahead of both the Pro League finals, should they get there, and the coming events. I think now, gentlemen, final points from you, Yanko, and just a prediction. Roll it in. Do NiP 2-0.
I think they do. I think the way that they're playing right now without much pressure really allows, you know, you see GetRight being super aggressive and so forth. I think they're going to close this out 2-0.
But do continue to expand just upon Chad's point.
Yeah,
sorry.
I believe that Big are not going to be a top 5 team, you know, in the world, barring some miraculous rise of skill in some of their individual players. You know, I think that's just too lacking for them to do that on a consistent basis, but they can have, you know, they can be legends again at the major. And the reason why is you need that one good tournament. You can prepare super hard for the major, right? Come up with new things. And if you can roll out through the groups, have 2 or 3 very strong maps, right? I mean, they did it in Poland with just Inferno. So if you add like 1 or 2 more maps, yes, it's going to be very difficult for teams to figure you out during the tournament, right? So Big doesn't need to be, you know, at top 4 Oakland, top 4 here, top 4 there. They just need, like, at the biggest tournament to have a good performance.
Yeah, we're hoping to see that now on the server. That's what we have to say here at the analyst desk. It's time to go back to your casters. Henry G and Sadakist are standing by.
Ready to roll on Cash, a map that has been so good and so bad to NiP all the same.
It's true. At one point, a dominant force, and other times get rolled over. We'll see what they can turn up here today, considering what we've seen so far and the play style NiP are presenting with that aggressive style. On the CT side especially, I think they should have a similar scoreline here. Big just don't seem to be fragging on an individual standpoint, but we'll see what they can do as we get into the second map here. Like we said, Pro League always seems to have these sort of results where one team will get blown out of the water, then they somehow come back and win the second map against all odds. It doesn't make any sense, but it happens. So, yeah, NiP certainly the favourites here after the first map, considering it is Cash as well. But Big, they have won some big games, if you will, on this map before, so definitely no strangers to it, and we'll see whether that maybe Tabson could step up a little bit. He started to show us some signs of life towards the end there of the first map. He did have that big round towards the A round, but looks like we're about to start here. A CT start for NiP. Should just be positive armor, 1 kit, 1 smoke. We'll see if that's what they go for in terms of the big buy. I assume something a little bit more tactical. A couple of smokes perhaps, and maybe some flashbangs in there as well. Can just go for the B rush if required. There's the smoke and defuse kit for GetRight. And 5 sets of armor for the German side. Well then, nothing too tactical coming out. We'll see what they bring to the table here in round number 1.
Gia jumps across mid. Gets his way all the way to highway. Still with Z connector covered off. There's no push, no counter push at all from NiP. GetRight goes hesitant. That allows them to wrap all the way around a truck. Draken, therefore, sits inside of the site, completely overwhelmed. And I don't think this pistol's got much written on it for NiP, even the fact that they lost mid so quickly.
That's a straight-up mid-rush up short, 5 players. Nothing really more to say about that, and it will be all the frags coming in favor of Big. Rez and Forrest get a couple back, but the round is done. Next and Kiev upgraded to USPs at this point. Bombs down, 3 versus 1. There is Kip for Rez and 100 HP, but I don't see him really making a dent in this round. He'll take an absolute miracle here. They've got that triangle set up next towards the CT area. He can be the sacrifice at this point, but it will be him to actually pick up the kill. There we go. 1-0. Big do get themselves on the map here. Very successful round. Nothing too tactical there. Just rushing mid. And it was NiP. They weren't really spotting at the start. Draken came back after about 5 seconds. Did spot them coming through. Couldn't land the headshot. Tagged up a little bit on the chest, but nothing they could do from the short area. And Big run away with the round. Will be a force buy from the CTs, though. CZs, 4 of those, and a deagle for Rez. Rifle-centric purchase from Big as well. They get 2 AK-47s and a Galil, a couple of UMPs, and some smokes to work with as well. They'll be running a default, presumably, or maybe not. They've got 3 players towards B. Looking like they're in the checkers, or I should say sunroom area. Could go for an execution here. The bomb's still down, but they will progress a little bit further towards the site.
Key waits at sunroom. NiP waits on A. One on highway, to be fair. Let's get right. The B side alone is res.
Very slow and methodical so far from Big, just checking every angle, making sure the CTs aren't pushing once again like they were on Mirage. Every crevice inspected. Got beat. UMP in hand, does get a little bit of attention there towards Shaw, no damage inflicted. Flashes up, tries to push them back, and they'll be going towards a B split here. You can see one player towards that sunroom, and it's just res to defend it. Has a smoke to work with, probably drops that in front of him. This has one angle to check here. Actually has got decent cover with the Molotovs and smokes coming in. Can he get anything done though?
Thought he might jump up on top of the box. Oh, Tabson. Through the edge of the smoke spots, the angle at headshot, and certainly made no mistake in getting one. As NiP with armor and CZs are already heading for Beverly. Heading for the hills.
I got it.
Yeah, you like that?
4 CZs.
Unfortunately, I don't have enough money to be in Beverly Hills right now.
Not yet. Maybe 10 years.
Maybe like 2 rounds. I was talking about the in-game economy.
Ah.
It's going to take them more than 10 years because they're not at the majors.
Well, 2 rounds, you'd do very well to do with what, 4 grand?
It was saying an established growth is in the process for NiP, Hank.
Anyway, it will be CZ said. You might as well. You're not going to win the round. You can have a second bite of the cherry in round number 3 with your upgraded pistols, your armor as well. They won't be giving anything up. CZs will be salvaged, and it will be res to not join them perhaps. He'll probably just stay on the USB. Could be purchasing a PT-50 perhaps. I think that's about as far as he'll go. He's in the AWPer, but money is pretty dire for the CT right now. 2-0 for Big. Very comfortable, very slow round, like we said, waiting for that push to come through from NiP. And a little A stack here. 4 players towards this side of the map, and it'd be strange if Big just went all in about inspecting everything like they did before. Mid control, definitely the place to go at the very start. Maybe get a boost going, just check the close angles. Molotov towards sandbags, check wide box. Once you got that, then go into your final play.
Drag him behind the box, squeaky door behind him. Big gets flashed out, spotted immediately from quad. Slow and steady from Big, perhaps unsure of exactly what NiP has brought to the table in this round. Perhaps they'll fight like Knights of the Round Table. As Forrest takes down Tabson at range on a CZ-75. Draken at least has a Galil picked up. It's 2 kills to the good, none at all against them so far, as Big struggles to find a footing in the round.
Well, that should be it. Existers find one back with the CZ-75. Gopi drops, but... Ooh. Well, next he's going to fight back somewhat. It's going to be down to Kiev now, 4 versus 1. Bomb planted, he'll have a chance to damage them slightly here, but this was an absolute nightmare for Big from the very get-go. Losing so many frags to Forrest, has been in amazing form recently, albeit not making it to the minor, but still, the last couple of months have been fantastic for him, and it will be NiP with those saved CZ-75s, retaking the B-bomb site very confidently, and Big can't really do much about it. That's a disappointing round for them. And this goes to show, sure, it might seem a little bit strange, just saving pistols and army. You think, well, we might as well just let these go, and we'll take the eco into the next round, but save those, you definitely can cause some damage. All it takes is 1 kill from the CZ, upgrade to the AK, and things can happen, and certainly will. Plenty of money now for NiP with those saved AKs. A Galil there for Exist as well. Orp on Draken. They should be absolutely fine here as we enter round number 4.
Forward outside of the vents at mid. It's Kiev on the other side of it. Tracking this time inside of B. For NiP, push at A is going to give them tons of information. In fact, it'll give them the A tons of information.
That's not bad.
Thanks. Wrote it myself. Usually Freak from Riot. He writes all my jokes just like someone writes all his.
God, shots fired. Well, 40 seconds remaining. We have got mid control for Big here, but that's fine. NiP will be fully aware of that. You can see Forrest of the AK-47. He'll certainly be checking that area out. On a one-tap potential there. Doesn't quite hit the shot. It's a bit of damage himself, but Rez, he's got full control of the area, and it will be Tapson to get the refrag back. And Forrest could be in a bit of trouble here. Gets one kill. Looks like it'll all get, but it'll be Rez to fight back here from the A connector. Oh, he'll fight back and be 2 kills for him.
Rez, good shot back into Gabi, though. So bomb may get planted, but it will immediately be defused. We go 2-2. And in doing so, NiP avoid the early possibility of disaster, catastrophe, and money, obviously, of winning the previous eco certainly contributed to doing so. It's going to leave Big in a tight spot, and surprisingly, Gabi's gone aggressive and bought, so they're going to force in.
I think they'll just get 1 AK here. Like, normally the idea behind this is...
Surprised he's the one to hold it, if that's
yeah,
the case.
That's absolutely true. But this is a common strategy. Not so much in CSGO, but it has come more into fashion recently. It was more prevalent in 1.6. The idea to get 1 AK out on your star player, like you said, and he's trying to cause much damage there. But he finds an opening pick of 5-on-4. With the reaction, your pistols are waiting in little choke points, and they maybe can stop a push. I don't think Gobby's the player to make that happen, but it's not a big deal. Even if he dies and nothing happens, he'll just win a pistol next round, and his teammates will have 4 AKs. It's still a winnable round.
Just where was Gabi the bot, where he's the in-game leader? I thought that's just they were all going to buy.
What were you going to say?
And I was going to say he wouldn't be the one with the gun. That's pretty sick. Get Red Forest.
There we go. That's
he brought an axe. The trees are gone.
Well, now we have at least an opening for the big side. 5-on-4. No nades. That is a problem. They've got a flashbang, so little something there, and Exist will probably drop here as well. Gobby with his second frag of the round with the AK-47.
He's certainly making me eat my words. Luckily, they taste good. Because I brushed my teeth not too long before I came to the studio.
Good job.
Thank you. I had a nap. I felt kind of gross.
The weekly brush?
Monthly.
Monthly, okay. Saving money on toothpaste.
And toothbrushes.
Yep. And
don't waste water. Nice shot by Draken to pull it back. That's 2 kills for him. That makes the round close. Goppy's still alive in it with the AK-47, and Lagia has picked up one on his own. One of his own, I should say. So they still have a chance, especially with Draken as low as he is. 17 HP, but he is again on the AWP. So we can try and find openings if they exist anywhere at all. Smoke off to A main. Goppy's forward of that, playing at, oh, the forklift. Timing is everything. 17 HP could have cost him his life dearly because he was so low, but now he's spotted behind the forklift and he's lost his teammate. Goppy still making up for it. He may as well have the round 11 HP. But a kit for Draken, if he gets aggressive, there's still a slight chance. He knows he's close. He's already spotted him on the left side, tries to find it again. He's going to try and beat him out, but he gets the shot. Goppy wins the round on his own. 4 kills. The one man who buys the rifle.
There you go. That's why it happens. If the off chance you get the opening pick, make things uncomfortable with the CTs. It looks like NiP recovered as well. A flurry of frags coming in their favour, but it's Gobby with his opening shot toward the checkers area. That was actually very nice indeed. His teammates setting up the human shield as well while he takes down a player in a connector and wins out the 1v1 versus Draken, who was low HP. That was the key kill when Get Right crosses the site, because if he doesn't kill him as he crosses there, he probably goes with a full defuse. Draken watching for the cross, and it's over. But he manages to do it and win the round as well. Look how much it's affected NiP here, down to 1 pistol. A UMP as well. They have got the all-power for Draken, but Big for now have the lead. 3-2. Round number 6, and we might just have a map on our hands here.
Exist, meanwhile, inside of A, as Rez has already pushed up slightly at B. So now we get into economic warfare. The Financial Times, they got to tank each other's stock markets intentionally. But if you're smart, Hank, you invest in crypto nowadays. That's what I'm told.
It is. That is very accurate.
When
You have to be quite smart though.
Well, that explains why I haven't done it. Tabson takes down Forrest behind the forklift. I thought Tabson hit that too. That was next. I was going to say, if he swung that quickly and found that shot, I was about to just stay silent and enjoy something beautiful.
Well, that should be it. 5-on-2 and Big coming to life here, Matt. They're looking confident on Cash, having some big individual moments as well from players you wouldn't necessarily expect.
I just want to say, Aro Olsen, enjoy life without a tongue.
Sorry,
I saw that comment in chat. Now, he knows what I'm talking about.
I don't, so I'll just assume it was bad.
He said, if God B wins the round with 1 AK, he'll cut out his tongue.
Okay. Oh, good lord. That's
So, hate to break it to you, but it's a legally, contractually obliged when you... It's legally bound when you type it in YouTube chat.
Yeah, the YouTube chat's a serious business.
It's true. It holds up in a state of the law and in court.
It's not really, just in case anyone from Google is listening. We're just joking. So, you never know.
Oh, they're definitely listening.
Yeah.
They're not listening through the mics, though, or through the stream. They're listening by having little mics hidden around the room.
Again, joking.
Get your tinfoil hat on, man.
Round number 7, we'll go into another force buy from NiP. I think they managed to save 1 weapon there. Or 2, actually. It was the orb that went down, but Draken still manages to recover this round as he goes for the pick towards B. He'll get 1, maybe a collateral. Will get the headshot. If he goes for the chest shot there, maybe he gets 2. Not meant to be. And it will be the B rush. Successful with those things as well. It's Get Right with just the UMP smoked out of the bomb site. Next. Gives the call, the headshot is clear, and indeed the bomb site at the same time. Get Right, can't do anything there. Run through that smoke, it's a death sentence. 4-4, 1 kit available. Might as well flirt of the idea of trying to go for the retake with Rez with the M4, but unless they find some fast kills in the next few seconds, I don't think this one's going to be viable.
Shot to the vent. Next gets the kill. Get Right and Rez follow it up. In fact, they burn God Be Alive. Get Right tries to go ambitiously, I have to say, for an immediate defuse. Rez is therefore to trade, but now he can't play off this. 5 seconds, taps it, sprays it, pre-fire, works. Rez gets the defuse.
That's amazing from Rez that he's pulled that round off. Gobby, as you saw then, he could have come around the corner 2-3 seconds later, win the round. Even 1 second, I think he would have been okay. That came down to the very last second. He took the bait, the fade defuse. He comes around the corner straight away, thinking this round's in the bag. I can't lose this. I'm in smoke. He has to go with the full defuse here. But time to perfection for Rez. I didn't think they had a chance in that retake, but somehow they make it work, and that's a gutting round for Big to lose as well. B rush, 4-4, limited weaponry, and NiP somehow make it happen. Rez, the young, inexperienced player, hasn't been in the top scene for very long, and he manages to pull off a round like that. That's really, really impressive. As we get to round number 8, force buy here from Big. Not necessarily all in, actually. They have got a couple of players still on 2-3K. Just a couple of AKs brought to the table. Tabson joining Godby this time. We saw what he did with that weapon before. They've doubled up the firepower now. 2 AKs and a few smokes to work with.
First inside of the vents. Reads right that they're at the cubby, but Tabson has his aim preset and ready. Locked it and popped it and dropped it and whatever the gangsters say these days. Tabson's done better than that. He swings out wide, finds Get Right as well. It's going to give him control of middle and Godby as well by taking down Rez. Has control of B, so Vent's a possibility to split the site. As Draken's all the way over on A.
He is indeed. Not really much he can do about
Canada.
this one.
Can we call it Canada site from now on?
Why?
A.
Ah, nice. No, we can't do that, but it's a nice idea. 1 player remaining, Draken, and it's Big once again, Mal. Not the force buys, these tactical little purchases. Just a couple of AKs, not going all in, just trying to see if they can find the at least individual talent to find some opening picks. They do it once again. Tabson with 3. That's what we expected. And we saw Godby with the AK before. We said, why is it not Tabson? He's the star player. Give it to him. Godby delivers, and now the aforementioned star does manage to find 3 kills and shut down the round and fully reset NiP as well. They have $0 pretty much per player. Forrest was $750, but there's going to be $1,400 into the next round. They'll probably force, considering it'll be a double eco regardless, and Draken has saved the AWP and T-spawn. But this could be the beginning of the end for NiP. This could cost them a few. 5-3 down. Eco here. It's up to Draken to probably go aggressive, like we saw before, pushing into that B storage area. He's got a decent spawn, as you can see right now. So I'll take a pause. Threat can chime in and say, okay, maybe squeaky door, maybe main entrance. Trying to read the tendencies of Big and try and work out where that big pick comes in. Taps him. What a play this was towards middle. Got the first shot, nails the second as well. 3 in total. Like I said, they probably forced by here up here. Like, they'll get $1,900 on top of what they have right now, which still isn't really enough for a buy. I would say you take a gamble, but it's best of 1, so it's difficult to make these calls. Why you take the pause. You don't have to, But I would say at this point, with the AWP up, I would probably be going for it.
Well, we'll see if that's going to be the call. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee and get energized. It's good stuff, that coffee.
Just opting for a couple of deagles. They're not going to force buy him.
No, they're not. Just the AWP for Draken, that's it.
Here we go then. Draken not going super aggro to start. He'll be watching towards the mid area. They haven't got a smoke to really push back the T's, but nothing too fast just yet. Big no. Obviously, Draken, the main AWP for NiP, he probably has saved that weapon. So they'll be going for a very slow default, presumably into a methodical execution at that point as well, dropping the smokes all over the bomb site, making sure that AWP has no chance to shut them down. The objective at the moment of the default is, where is that AWP? As soon as you get information, that's when you're going to be committing pretty quickly towards the other side of the map. For now, though, mid-smoke's coming through. Draken, I would say, probably wants to be boosted up at this point. Get his teammates back to actually help him out, but it might not matter. Get right, doesn't want to boost. He actually wants to get frags with that PT-50 towards the boost area. It's going to be Godby that goes down first.
Next, we'll back away and cover off top drop for reverse play. Tabson all the way in toward the lockers. He'll check them. Tabson's the kind of guy that would beat you up for your lunch money, so he knows how to check a locker.
Slam you in the locker.
Yep.
Keep you in there all day.
Lock you in there. And even if you open the door, he'd have you hung by the hook of your sweater, so you still couldn't get out.
No, your underwear.
Oh.
Atomic wedgie.
Yeah, wow. Ouch. Good shot. But Draken pull it back, but better play. That's pretty good from Forrest, because I was going to say better play to get over top of right crate and get near the bomb plant. Forrest has shut that thought down. It leaves Kiev with just a UMP. They've made it interesting. As NiP, and Forrest tries his best to snap back and get Kiev, who's gone for the op. He'll get it second time around in the one-on-one.
Can't plan, but might as well see what he can do here.
Don't even peek, Forrest. Don't you dare, Forrest!
No!
Oh, my God!
That could have gone so wrong. It was quite smart, just saying, well, I might as well try and plan. I'll get the $300 for myself. Forrest, if he goes down to the no-scope there, that's the blunder of the month. Good Lord. That could have been disastrous. He wins the round, sure, but that could have gone very wrong indeed. It's NiP, though, to win the eco there. Not too bad. They did have the AWP at the start of the round, but still, they still won away after Big have done a couple of times as well. Here's the boost I was talking about. This is what I wanted to see in the previous round. If this smoke comes down, you can see above it. A lot of teams are aware of that, but it's a B rush by the looks of things. Straight in they go. He's got to get the first kill, but Forrest fighting back for sure. Gets one, does damage to the second. There it is. Finishes him off with the Desert Eagle, and Draken coming in to save the day as well. Forrest should die here. Oh, doesn't throw the smoke, man. No! Goes down to 4 HP. Couldn't throw it, but who will stay alive?
Stay alive, but it's his teammates that do all the work. He did such a good job at the start to find those 2 kills, but if he'd gone down, I wouldn't have faulted him. It's just unfortunate he didn't throw that sooner.
Oh, let's have a look at this. So the Molotov drops, and then he's just like,
well, I think he hesitated.
It's that picture, you know, like, this is fine. Like, everyone on the fire around him.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's
then,
all fine.
But then he just about gets it down, 4 HP. I don't know what he was waiting for. You just want to get that down as soon as possible. But he stays alive, no harm, no foul, like it was in the previous round. 2 very close scores for Forrest, but lives to tell the tale. 5-5. And that should be big on an eco as well to take a pause of their own. Tactical timeout, of course. Money not great. Not worth a force buy, probably take a little partial here considering you've got about 3k per player, maybe a little bit less considering Kiev's down to 2k. But we have got a map here. It's been a lot more exciting. Mirage, that was quite boring. But this one is certainly heating up.
Boring. We do. So you said we were going to get 16-4, 16-4, opposite directions, because it would just be the way. That was true of our last week, the midsection of the Power Week when I was here.
Yeah.
But the first week, we actually had 1 blowout and then 1 really close game. So this is more true to form.
Yeah, this is looking better. NiP should take the lead at this point, but Big have been a little bit sneaky on these little partial buys they've been bringing to the table here. Not going to have an AK to work with, but a CZ's, a couple of sets of armor as well. Legia with 1 smoke. They've got a few flashbangs here, and we are lining something up. It's a little pop flash. We've seen this before. It goes in purpley. The CDs have no chance to turn away from it. Hopefully he sees it from his point of view, but he's not going to actually catch it. Flash goes in, but he drops the incendiary, and he should be fine here as his teammates. Gerard comes in, put the big spray down, 3 kills obtained, and the bomb going down.
Bomb going down. Next does fire back to get right. Wrap around exists. He'll find Legia. And NiP take the lead. They were down 5-2 at one point. 5-3, 4-2. Okay, close enough. Nice light, no cigar.
Indeed. Well, that was the little partial investment, very slight partial investment. Pistols and some body armor. They will have AKs here. No AWP for Key, but he hasn't really been that electrifying with the AWP. He is a decent AWP, I wouldn't say world class, but on his day he can be pretty impactful. He's on 4 frags right now, down to the AK. He's definitely proficient with the AK as well, so don't worry about that. Got a bit of aggressive play here once again. It's Red starting to have some fun. This is what we saw from NiP. They were shutting down so many of the plays from Big or Mirage. It works out once again. They get 2 for 1. 4 on 3 now. It's Rez to find both kills. Has been having a bit of a barn burner here on Cash. The last 3 players are big.
That's pretty good. Just get right.
Can't do much about that.
Get right things. What are you going to be for Halloween?
I've just found out I'm going to be at home for it, so I'm going to find a nice little house party bounce.
You're going to go to a house party? What are you going to dress up as, though?
Sadicus. I've actually got my Sadicus t-shirt now.
Did you get one?
Yeah, I got 2.
Oh, that's pretty nice of you. I didn't know you got one.
I got 2 in grey.
Thanks, man.
So
you got 2 grey ones. You got 2 of the same. There was another option, you know.
There was. I like the grey ones. So the grey
that's
and white.
They're cool, yeah.
So I'll wear that, and I'll take some car keys with me, and I'll have like one of those fake dogs on the lead.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty smart. I like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so I'll do that. I don't think many people get it.
No, I don't think so either. But that's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just send you Jaden, and maybe my helmet or something.
7-5. Coming to the closing sectors here now of the first half. NiP doing a very decent job of getting back into the game. Like you said, 5-3 down at one point. But on the CT side, they are recovering here. It's another eco for Big, so presumably they'll win the half at this point. Nakia finding a little bit of heat there towards the squeaky door. Goes down to 76 points of health. Boosts up towards middle once again, and Gerai has been toying with them a little bit here. They will be in a more passive hold here, checking all the angles this time. Yep, next should check that out. And it will be Gerai to find the first kill. Maybe a double here. He is fully flashed, but he'll go down. Keep just about gets him there. A presence as well from Big, but Exist does not care about that. Nice little flick to... surely he got Big over the body. He would have got it down regardless there. Tries to get a kill in return. Bait them around the corner. I thought he'd fully commit at least. Try and get it down. Round number 14, and there is money available now.
So I'm really bad at Halloween, so I've just come up with a brilliant idea that rather than use my brain that gets nowhere on it, I've decided to use my Twitter followers' brains.
Okay.
So I've tweeted out, and you guys can chat, can all be involved with it, at Sadicus on Twitter. What is everyone being for Halloween? Because I'm curious. And what should I be?
Okay.
One year, I put a cardboard box over my head, put a lampshade on my head, had the cardboard box sort of over my body, and then I put a cloth over it and like some, like a clock. I used something, I won't say what, and I was a one-night stand.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was trying to work out where that was going.
That one was all right. Except for good. At the party, you couldn't walk around because you were a massive square. Decent trade as Tabson gets the shot back to Exist, having opened the door. Gobby's followed up to make things better off still, but get right close enough to Highway. Fast rotation and a great nade. Yeah. The HP is a bit of a problem.
Yeah, that's going to hurt in the morning. But we have got next with a chance to take another play towards CT Spawn. Not going to be enough there, and Big starting to drop off a little bit now. They've lost 6 rounds in a row after that big lead they had. It is not really working out towards the latter stages of the half. They will have somewhat of a buy available, but pretty much AKs and nothing much else. One player might have to get out to Galil here or UMP just to make sure they have some nades. No, all AKs. 1 Molotov and 1 smoke. I'd have thought some Galils or some CZs there would come out just to have the grenades to work with it.
Kiev going very quick toward Highway. Get right actually gets Molotov'd off, so he won't be able to do anything about holding Highway. That means they've got to back off, and when they do so, they back directly into the line of sight by which Lakia has from a doorway that he has opened at the long A position that goes to the A bomb site, which is now occupied by Big, and that means they'll plant the bomb. Forrest and Draken will rotate. Forrest goes down.
Well, it seems like going very fast and no strategies. That's what's working best for Big. They had no nades there at all. Rushman, like they did on the pistol, splitting towards the A side, managing to finish the half on 9-6. NiP look dominant towards the end, but at least this game is competitive. Big are giving themselves a chance to win in the second half. And then with the pistol, they can tie things up at 9-9 and still be within this game. Will they do it? That's the big question, and we'll find out after the break.
Well, here we go. Cash money millionaires and people cashing out right now. 9-6, really no one. It's a pretty relatively even transaction. 9-6. NiP lead it though, and they go on to the terrorist side. Keep in mind, I hate how they reset the scoreboard in the ESEA. I don't like that with the ESEA client, actually. I was going to say NiP lost the pistol.
They did. It was a 3-0 start.
No, 2-1.
No, 2-1, you're right. They did come back with the 4 saves, he said, so that's absolutely correct. But if Big can win the pistol here, presumably get the 3-0, it could be a 9-9 game. But Gerright's got the Julies off, so all bets are off, really. He's going to win. When he gets the Julies out, it's a guaranteed 100% victory. Julies in a smoke. The Julies have been buffed, if you will. They're made cheaper. They're down from $500 to $400, meaning you can buy a couple of flashbangs or a smoke like he has done, saving himself an extra $100. There's some maths for you.
Math's pretty good, Hank. You're doing all right there, bud.
Smoke down. He's covering heaven with those Julies. Can he get it done? B-side's open and all 5 players rotating in.
Get right, trying to find vision. Turns away and looks back, but Rez does all the work inside of the site with a Glock. Finally goes down to Godby because they knew where he was when he jumped in, but that just left him standing in the open, and immediately the response is swift. Get right on the dualies, baby.
Told you, 100% victory.
Deuces. I know, it's awesome.
Well, they just went for a contact B play there, and there was a completely open side as well. Big actually opting to play from CT spawn, smoked out. Nothing could do about the full take. They went for a play through the smokes, didn't want to be patient there, and they got punished for it. Rez with the first 2 shots, didn't tear up on his POV, but maybe we can check it out later. It will not necessarily be a force buy from Big. They get upgraded pistols, but only 3 players of armor, Legia and Kiev, keeping the AWPer. Maybe Legia as a secondary AWPer. That could be a play. He hasn't got armor. He is technically the second AWPer of the team. They don't usually run it, but maybe that's something they're leaning towards with this stance they've got right now. 10-6, double digits for NiP, and next pushes towards A story. Same story for Kiev as well, but get right, ready and waiting. Taparoo with the UMP takes him down, but next gets one in return, and got B as well. We still have a round on our hands as next got B even more so, makes it a possibility. Rez and Forrest to fight back with Tabson though just on 3 points of health. Surely he goes down here as Forrest faces towards middle. There it is, and now Discopi, who has been spotted as well, but could be a little bit problematic. Staying alive, but the bomb's planted in B.
Got B. It's not going to get anywhere near the site named after him. As Forrest takes him down with an AK-47. Starts off well with a deagle. He's had some accuracy tonight, young Godby. He's actually not the youngest, one of the older players now in the CSGO scene.
Yeah, he's knocking on the door at 30, I believe.
Getting close.
Like all of us. I think he is 30, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's going to be a full eco now for the big side. Not really much to force by brought for them. But like I said, the AWP definitely a possibility. B rush, why not get in there as a player and checkers who could get one. That's going to be Kiev. Not meant to be though, as Forrest makes his way, gallivanting through to CT spawn. And it will be Tabson, just the last player remaining here. Silence USP, might just get one. But can't even do that. Forrest takes him down. The clean sweep and a bonus round coming in for NiP here. 2 MAC-10s to UMP. They know the money. It's actually going to be pretty... It's not as devastating as it usually is. Like, normally on these sort of rounds, you have, like, no head armor across the board. It is going to be that case, actually. Legia, Kiev, and Tabson without head armor, opting for more utility, of course. Getting the smoke to flashbangs. No incendiary. They are quite expensive. No kits. Kiev with the AWP. And they just go for a B rush here. Those MAC-10s, Matt? I think they are. Let's just get in there. Let's see what we can do, lads.
Flash bounce toward the door. MAC-10 already there, but already tagged. As the AWP runs back. Oh,
it's
get
worth.
right.
It's worth.
He gets an assist, but they chase it down. You're right, it is worth to kill your teammate in that situation because it gets them in the site faster, and that's ultimately the only goal they wanted. Draken, that's a 1G. The second one tonight.
I think big win this round, you know.
It might, due to the 1G, but they hold it together. Exist and Rez with the crossfire inside of the site. We're seeing more G-bangers tonight than you would in Australia. Shout out to Chad. Wait, those are thongs. The opposite.
Yep.
It's fine. It's all fine.
That's what we call a bonus round. I think I've explained this about 15,000 times. Let's just do it one more. When you win the first 2 rounds very cleanly like NiP did, especially that final one against the full EKs, and you notice CT's force ball into round number 2, you have an array of SMGs, like the MAC-10s and UMPs. You notice CT's will be struggling. That's why I've always said the force buy in the second round doesn't make that much sense to me, because you're on the back foot and the T's know it. You go for a very close and fast play, staying in a 5-man unit, giving them multiple targets there when they have a lack of utility or lack of firepower or even no head armor, and then you can overwhelm. You find that first kill has a snowball effect, and that's what you saw. I'm talking over this round because it's not that important. It's a follow eco pretty much, and as you see, it's going to be NiP finding the first 4, and indeed the 5th momentarily. It's going to be Kiev alone in the B-bomb site. I hope that gave you a nice idea of what the bonus round really means, and painted you a picture in your mind as to why you shouldn't force one in the second round.
I was trying to paint just like Bob Ross the whole time you were doing that, and all I got's a blob, so it's clear as mud.
Clear as mud. I remember when you did that for ECS. You did a
They
painting.
never posted it. I was so
It's probably fine to
disappointed.
talk about it now. It's 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, so they actually had me. Can everyone tweet like James Bordoff and make him release the footage? Basically, they made me go into the ECS studio, and I had to paint with Bob Ross. They had a Bob Ross playing, and I had to keep up with him. And I thought I did a pretty sterling job.
Never saw the light of day.
I never even got to keep the painting. It's just sitting somewhere waiting to go to gallery after I die.
Well, in 2018, we'll get to see it then, I guess.
Just say, at James Bordoff, I want to see Sado kiss Bob Ross.
Fast B approach here from God B. Now we've got something to work with. It's going to be the first kill coming in, and he might get away with it as well. The smoke deployed, and he'll get away. So much damage inflicted. This is looking very good. The in-game leader finding 2 stunning kills at the very start. No love lost between these two teams as they go aggressive at the beginning of the round. God B by himself pretty much there, doing a ton of damage, finding 2 kills. As things start to calm down, we've got Legia in the vent here. And 3 players are NiP towards the B side of the map.
Interestingly enough, that round that you thought Big could win, they only got 1 kill despite it coming down to a 2 versus 2. Kind of interesting. Legia in the vent. Just has to hold position. Doesn't get to hold it if they put a Molotov at his feet, but he goes forward, finds the kill, and then backs off Draken. Goes down immediately. Back out at a perfect time as well to line everybody up. Gets forced easily. Massive damage onto the last remaining player, Rez. They know where he is. Good find. Good find. Good round, Legia. Gets 3 kills himself. God B finds 2. I haven't looked at the scoreboard all night tonight because I haven't felt the need to do so. Everyone's fairly close. Force has 20 kills. Get right on 19. It's only 9, 8, and 7 for next Kiev and Tabs. And perhaps part of the problem is NiP is 2 rounds away from wrapping this up 2-0. Although it's not really a best of 3. You gotta be so careful the way you say that, don't you?
2 separate best of 1s.
Exactly.
Contribute to the leaderboard. Here we go, fast play from NiP this time, trying to push through the flames at boost, which sort of works out. Rez goes down to 60 HP, his teammate finds the kill as well, but everyone's burning here. It will be Rez to find the kill as Kiev gets dropped. 4 on 2 now. God B and Tabs to try and recover the situation. It's looking unlikely. This will be a full reset as well, and indeed match point. God B gets 1 back. He is playing very well tonight. He's actually top fragging right now for Big. You don't usually see that. Don't kill your teammate here, Rez. He'll be coming out the squeaky door momentarily as they look towards the connector. It's Tabsin that has to make this work. He'll come through, but Rez ready and waiting to take him down. Oh, won't be the cleanest of kills, but it gets the job done. God B in the 3 versus 1. Bomb to be planted, and I don't think he can do anything about this as he goes through the mid connector. Makes a little bit of noise, but undetected for now at least. Incendiary picked up. Could be useful.
Could be. God B. Molotov thrown behind the quad. Shots out. God B can't do much with it. Rez able to take him down. We find map points for NiP.
That is a reset, but we did keep 5 players alive for Big in the round they won. So they actually get an okay buy. It's not the end of the world. 15-7 though, that sort of is. It was looking like a really promising game for Big, at least in the individual form we've seen from God B, and the clutches are coming through, and the 4 spies that are working out from, not even 4 spies, tactical purchases I'll call those. Maybe that'll be a new term we can start coining. Tactical purchases when 1AK comes out. And round number 8, we'll have 4 and 4s are famous. And this potentially could be the last round of cash. It's looking very likely to be so. Legia tries to make a play, pushes through the smoke, doesn't work out for him. It's up to God B once again with 2 players in front of him, joined by Kiev. They go through the checkers. He spams off a little bit of damage towards Forest, but can't find the frag, and that is the big issue here as they boost up towards the vents.
tabseN gets a shot on Exist, and then, unfortunately, it gets pulled back, and he goes down. He's joined Legia. It's Exist and Forest tagged out on the other side. Keith takes down Draken. Rez is immediately there to get Gabi back to open as Get Right pushes down Highway. That's going to open up the map because it's Kiev, the last remaining CT. Bomb is behind him at the garage, however, so there will be a confrontation, and Kiev flashes himself back out. Take it back, it's a smoke. That's a flash, better from NiP, and inside of his own smoke, he'll go down. Get Right with the kill, NiP with a 1-0 and a 1-0.
16-8, going a little bit further than the first map, but still a very similar result indeed.
16-18 by my math.
Yes. Okay. That's, yeah, I see what you're doing there. Throwback to the previous map. NiP do it. They're looking great, and Big actually looked successful there, Matt. They seemed like they had it all together, and the first half was okay. Dropped off towards the end. 9-6, though. That's still a respectable half, considering on the T side. That's absolutely fine. Couldn't get going at all in the second half. Got completely battered there, and NiP keep their title. I guess their previous title being the Kings of Cash. But there it is, a 2-0 in terms of the leaderboard standings for tonight. Big still right down there at the very bottom, and NiP start to claw their way back. So looking pretty decent for them. And it was a better game, I guess. It wasn't the best scoreline, unless you tuned in and just saw that. But overall, some big plays, some high adrenaline moments, some big clutches, and those tactical purchases working out quite nicely for Big.
With that said, we're going to send it over to a man who's a big personality. His name's Alex, and he's on the desk.
Thank you so much. Yes, indeed, Sedicist and Henry G there. The Kings of Cash do get their 2-0 and probably leaves a bit of a rash for Big. Second half, unable to make any sort of impact. One single puny round on their CT side. I'm joined by YNK and Chad Spun J. What are you making of that, Yenko?
That was quite a bash, Alex.
It was quite the bash.
Yeah, I think you could tell from the way the first game went that NiP was just, you know, playing a lot more loose. They were trying to have a bit of fun after that crushing loss in the minor, and Big just didn't have an answer for it, I think, individually more than anything else.
Well, when God B is your highest fragging player on the scoreboard for your team, you know, the other players aren't stepping up to the mark. And, you know, I said tabseN needs to be met by next. Well, tabseN wasn't even here, which is a bit of an issue. The first maybe 5 to 6 rounds of the game was a tussle back and forth for control of the economy. NiP made some smart decisions. God B made some good plays. There was a couple of cool set strats coming out from the side of Big, and then it looked like NiP picked up steam and they ran away with that half until we got down to the last round. There wasn't anything too impressive coming out from anybody, really. I think they had some good individual Counter-Strike. Rez had a good round. So
for Big's underperformance, does it often come back to a rather demoralizing form of analysis where you just say, well, tabseN didn't frag and therefore Big's results aren't on the board?
He's a win condition, right? Yeah. It kind of has to be up there as a talking point.
I think the problem for them is, you know, when they play against teams that are pretty loose, dynamic, aggressive on their CT side, right? That's where it comes down to a lot of aim duels. And if you're not on point individually and you're just losing those aim duels, when then you can't do really that much as a team either, right? And I feel like that was the problem for Big in this particular series of 2 best-of-1s, Alex.
Absolutely. Now, Yenko, I have to kind of poke and prod just a little bit there because you've used 2 very contrasting ways to describe NiP on Cash. You've used the kind of the loose and free-flowing. You've also described their Cash as quite one-dimensional. I mean, is there something different that's going on, something different afoot here?
I think this is not how NiP plays Cash, generally speaking, right? They are a bit more reserved. I think it's safe to say when they play their official games, but I believe under the circumstances, they have decided to switch things up. And I believe actually the key is in combining the 2 styles, right? That way you're more unpredictable. It's more difficult for your opponents to get a read on what you're going to do. Automatically makes it more difficult for them to play their own game. The problem was with NiP, no matter how good their style was, when it was like more methodical, taking map control or going for those set executes, you know it's coming, and when you know something's coming your way, then you can always adjust and find a way to deal with it.
What kind of problems can you encounter when you try and mesh the 2? Because I mean, we've seen evidence that the NiP can do both, Chad. We've seen those 2 different styles. What can you encounter?
It's about finding the balance, right? And it's super difficult to do. Like, it's not like there's no set formula for it, and that's the hardest part. If you want to throw in a very structured start to a T side, right, or you want to play reserved on the CT side and react to how they play, and then they throw something at you completely different, what you weren't expecting. It's like when hindsight it's 2020, right? You go, oh, maybe we should have played looser, and then we could have dealt with the way that they addressed the game. And these are kind of the mind games of how teams like to play Counter-Strike.
I feel in most situations, right, you want to start off loose with like a default and letting your players feel it out. You look towards a team like FaZe, for example. You have good individuals, you always want to go for it because that's also not something you can counter. There are not really tells when you go for a round like that. And then you switch it up. Even if you win rounds by just playing loose, you switch it up eventually, you throw a set piece because your opponents are always going to try and adjust on the fly. And I think that's the main thing you need to try and do. If you go straight, obviously as time goes by, you're going to switch it up because you don't want to for your opponents to see patterns and so on. But I really believe that like the mix between the two has to be the way to go.
Stay loose.
It depends on how deep you want to go in this discussion, right? We can go super deep. If you're on the T side and they force buy on like the first gun round and you on the first eco, you know the first gun round they're not going to have a lot of utility. So like me personally, this is a preference thing, would prefer to do a set execute with all of my utility against them not having the counter mollies and smokes, right?
Sure.
So it's just how deep you want to go with this and your decision making as an in-game leader, but Yanko's spot on. You want to make sure you mix it up with both styles so that you can have a mixture and never show patterns.
So almost just identifying which tool you want to use for the, like what circumstances welcome the best tool. Is it if it's It's a long story short. We'll talk more about that when we have time to fill, but for now, I think we want to groove straight on over to what you guys have been up to in the server. We saw what NiP and Big were up to. If you have just joined us, NiP picking up a rather convincing 2-0 cash, one of the maps in play. But now we're going to go ahead and check out what you guys have been up to. It's one of my favorites of the ESL Pro League. It's called Community Plays, where we jump in and bring you a top 5 of what you guys have been up to.
Now just one man left inside of the B-bomb site, but he's pushed down Banana. Now he's got himself an AK to play around with. And this is where things get scary if you're Na'Vi. Oscar's not the man you want to be facing off against. He finds himself 3.
Now Sick will molly this off, tries to block the pathway. The same can be sent for the other side here. Sick's going to be able to pick up the first kill. Wraps in for a quick second one, and now everyone else is stuck because of the Molotovs there. So great elimination being done here by Misfits. Great usage of the utility. Nifty is allowed to get this first trade, but they have a lot more work to do if they want to get back into this round. Starting it off well, but Sick through the paneling is going to hit one more and then a second as Azur tries to push him. Nifty left alive, but it's Sick to kill every single member of the Renegades.
That's going to be Zipex and Glaive. Here they come. They're going to be checking this for sure. The flashbang's good. And Zipex with double spray down. Make it 4. What an absolute monster play.
Ready to hold on to it as their players just split. Destiny completely blind. HS. Oh my goodness, he doesn't notice Destiny. He was standing there for a solid like 5 seconds, and now he wraps around and gets a second kill and a third now as well. Completely decimating the enemy team, and now number 4 is just like clockwork for him, walking through the entire site. Actually pretty close for the most part here, so they keep winning these rounds and look for cleaner ones too. That's going to be a good entry, but you still have Fall to deal with. He's going to wrap around, almost gets a third kill that quickly. Now he's going to be able to get it on the repeat here. Now are they not looking to quad at this point, as they're just letting Fallen get away with it, and in he goes. It's an easy ace for Fallen, shutting everything down and finally putting SK on the board.
God damn, the crowd went wild.
Oh boy.
Absolutely wild for that
Can we
that
send
5K.
can we send an email or something about that sound effect?
I honestly think they
Sound effect.
directly recorded it off of Roller Coaster Tycoon.
It
is all I'm
needs to be
saying.
addressed.
Yeah, okay, well, we're not. By the way, my bad. I actually thought that the plays were so good from you guys, we must look at for professional players. I'm so sorry. But you guys have been fragging, and we'll be looking at that later in the week. Occasionally, I am. But I'm falling. Look, when he's on, gents.
That is the definition of combat AWPing. When an AWPer does that, just jumps on in, has a little dance around the smokes, plays around the Molotovs. What's up? What are you going to do?
It is just kind of absurd. And we get to see a little bit of the North American region. Sick was upsetting the Renegades. I mean, I guess...
Easiest round of his life.
Oh, yeah?
Like peeks into players who are looking somewhere else. But it was a nice round, overtime, big round, of course.
Yeah. And we got to see some Brazilians as well. Destiny, I was sitting there going, I've seen that name before. So you were telling me Tempo Storm, and he's going and he's taking a top 5 player of the week.
Yeah, and now
filling in for Immortals.
Now he's in Immortals.
Fully joined, got the jersey and everything.
I think so.
Couldn't make the minor, of course, in NA. From second at the major, couldn't make the next minor.
Yeah, you just have to go ahead and throw that one in there.
Immortals after all.
Yes, I like to crush people's dreams.
Yeah, well, dream crushing aside, I'm going to crush all your dreams because we're going to have to shut up. We're going to take a break. When we do come back, though, we have got a hot match. It is going to be spicy, so prepare your taste buds because you eat Counter-Strike. It's going to be North versus Fnatic. You'll be dining, and you'll be joining all of us as we do jump in to Fnatic North on maps like Mirage.